Today we're talking about how to boost GLP-1s naturally. Maybe you were taking GLP-1s and you've had some side effects that really weren't great and you've decided now to come off of it. How do you now keep that GLP-1 production going? How do you make the most out of your body's natural ability to make GLP-1s? That's what we're going to talk about today. And who are you listening to? I'm Samantha Salmon, board certified health and wellness coach, and everything I'm sharing here and on this channel is evidence-based, and I love to share my personal experience as well. So let's get into it. Let's talk about what GLP-1 actually is, because I think that frames it a little bit. And then also, I wrote a blog about this. You can actually click on the link in the description to this video if you want to dive deeper into the science and just see everything on paper in text, right? Just written out for you. But GLP-1s, they're naturally occurring hormone that's produced in the gut and in the brain. And so what happens is when you eat carbs and fats and they reach to the bottom of the small intestine, it kind of triggers like a feedback loop that basically tells your brain, I'm done, right? I'm satisfied. So it regulates hunger, digestion, it slows digestion down, suppresses appetite, and it regulates blood sugar, right? So GLP-1s, they help to modulate glucose-dependent insulin secretion from the beta cells in your pancreas, right? So it optimizes metabolic functioning because it allows for blood sugar to not drop too low. The thing to understand is that natural GLP-1 is broken down and cleared from the bloodstream within minutes. So to harness that hormone's powerful appetite suppressing effects, what the scientists have done is they've created these agonists, which basically just means that they mimic the GLP-1. They're substances that mimic the GLP-1 and they resist that rapid breakdown. So it makes the GLP-1 last in the body for hours or even a full week. So with GLP-1 levels artificially high, it basically tricks the brain into thinking that it's constantly eating, which drastically dials down hunger drive and causes weight loss as a consequence. Now, if you are no longer taking the drug, how can you maintain the benefit of GLP-1s? You have to obviously eat fiber because that is what is making the GLP-1, right? It's triggering the release of this thing, is carbs and fat. Now carbs, all plant foods are carbs. What you want to do though is eat fiber, intact plant food. So when we say fiber here, we don't mean lean cuisine or some of these things where you have to look at the label to see how much fiber in it. We're talking about single item ingredient stuff, which means you're actually getting in the kitchen and making things, right? From actual whole foods. It could be steel cut oats, it could be beans or other legumes, grains, fruits and vegetables, right? You actually have to get in the kitchen, maybe put a meal plan together of actual fiber-rich whole plant foods, and this will help produce the GLP-1 naturally. You also want to consume thylakoids. Now, thylakoids are the membranes where photosynthesis occurs inside these dark green leafy vegetables. So we're talking about spinach, kale. For my Jamaicans out there, I know callaloo definitely has this in there. What else? Dandelion greens, like all your leafy greens, collard greens, wherever you can find them. Thylakoids, they act as natural fat blockers and delay the digestion of fats, pulling them further down the digestive tract to trigger a prolonged release of GLP-1s, and they help to cut the cravings for junk food, right, which is contributing to excess fat anyway and metabolic dysfunction. So you want to always incorporate leafy greens. You want to add spices and bitter foods. These help to produce GLP-1s because bitter herbs and compounds, they stimulate GLP-1 secretion because the gut contains bitter taste receptors specifically linked to the GLP-1 released. So what does that mean? That means more cinnamon, turmeric, cayenne pepper, right? All of these things. And actually, Dr. Greger wrote a whole book called Ozempic where he goes into detail on these things. He also wrote another book it was on weight loss. It was a weight loss book. If you look at all his books he's written, I can't remember the title of the book, but it was actually, let me look it up for you now. It's called How Not to Diet, right? And he has a lot of these spices listed and some different things, especially the cayenne, right? We know when you have hot, and the science behind it is really quite interesting, like eating hot foods versus cool foods, and like liquids versus fiber, like if you want to really fine tune the diet, right, to maximize fat loss potential. Another tip for GLP-1 production is to chew more and eat slower. The physical act of how you eat matters. He talks about this in the weight loss book. Studies show that chewing more thoroughly and eating at a slower pace significantly increases GLP-1 levels and leads to feeling more satiation. And we naturally, I know I can attest to this as a born and raised New Yorker, you are programmed to eat fast because it's a go-go type of lifestyle, right? You're eating between here and there, you're eating while walking, while commuting, you're always eating while doing. So it's never like a mindfulness thing. The more we can bring mindfulness into meals, the better our health would be. So I'm talking about meal prep. I'm talking about when you're actually eating the food, right? And this is where I think having a raw salad every day is hugely beneficial, right? Actually preparing some greens. Maybe it's not even a salad. Maybe it's just a bowl of vegetables, right? Where you actually have to wash them, cut them, and prep them. Just prep them for consumption. That process, and then eating them. But eating raw foods, you do chew more. You have to eat slower. It takes a longer time just because of the nature of it. And doing that, if you're on a fat loss journey, you're trying to increase GLP-1s, maybe you're not even on a fat loss journey, but you just want to optimize your mental health, because we are seeing now in the mental health field that folks are being prescribed these GLP-1s, which I'm going to do a video about coming up soon. But you don't necessarily have to be dependent on these drugs if you make these dietary and lifestyle choices, okay? And I need you to share this video because I think a lot of people get confused when folks say fiber. They're still thinking, oh, let me download an app where I scan all these things. If you have to download an app to scan barcodes, you are eating processed foods, most likely ultra processed foods, which contribute to metabolic dysfunction, right? Contribute to fat accumulation, because there is more than even what you're looking at. There's a lot of chemicals and artificial flavorings and just all of these things. Not to mention the plastic it's wrapped inside, which itself is an obesogenic, endocrine disrupting chemical. And this has impacts on your mental health, on your metabolic health, and on your fat loss journey. So with that, I think that's everything I wanted to cover. If you want to go into more detail, definitely check out the blog, and I have more resources in the description to this video. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. And until next time, take care.